They'll be calling you a radical. Kevin Blanch, I want to get back to the dolphins. It's a big, big deal in Japan. Now class, this is Fukushima for dummies and deniers. You've eaten so much dogma, you've ground into your dogma, the truth means nothing to anybody. Very simple, and I could prove this. The IAEA, the nuclear cartel that runs the world, gave TEPCO the permission to do their massive dump. Their biggest dump to date, a week ago today. They dumped. Okay, class, it's very simple. Get out your globe, get out your map. Here's the planet Fukushima, Japan. Here's the beach right here. Here's Tokyo, here's the beach where all the dolphins washed up dead. The State Secret Acts got thrown down the next day. Before the State Secret could step in, the nuclear cartel had closed the door. Remember, you can't even mention Fukushima, the word in Japan. You go to jail. Think about that. Just think about that alone. In this day and age, it's beyond fascism. The nuclear industry runs the world. That's why I'm going to Vienna. The fuel cycle, the Psychopath Fuel Cycle Conference, it's going to be the biggest event they've had over there in a long time. And I can explain for some reasons. But, okay, so here sits the island of Japan. There's a little eddy. There's a current that goes right like this, right down along that beach. That beach is about 85 miles away. It goes down like this, right from Japan, just like this. Then it attaches to the Japanese current. The Japanese current runs all the way towards Northern California, splits. It goes up into the Gulf of Alaska. Come get your fish burger, splits, runs down. You throw a rubber ducky in right where they release the water, Fukushima, Japan. That rubber ducky, if it stays in the current, will be on the coasts of North America within 5 days. It is not a bathtub, Ken Buesler. This thing that you're swashing is just going to take a random bucket. Wow. It's not homogeneous. Look, I know for a fact. I verified it. My sources inside Japan, they did their massive biggest flush to date. 5 days, well actually 4 days before they wash up. It's been confirmed by the scientists in Japan. Now they can't use the word Fukushima. They confirmed. And I want to talk about this. Sonar in the brain, and this Paul Bagley and all these people are saying they're prophets. I mean, it's just black is white, up is down, red is blue, everything's opposite. They're the opposite of prophets. Everything they say, remember they told you? And I could prove this. I'll prove this right here to you. I turned $3,000 into $700,000 right on YouTube. Contrary to everything they said. Told you to short silver at 47. Videos to prove it. I did it. Triple short. Told you to get out of gold the day it hit 1900. Buy Tesla at 14. Told you to sell your Tesla at 240. Told you to buy the Apple derivative call at 260. When it's 900. Hello. I mean, my accuracy's been incredible. You don't want to hear the truth. The truth means nothing, even when it's proved, because that's called dogma. That's called dogma. And I want to tell you the story. I had this friend right here. Well, I shouldn't even say friend, acquaintance. He's a car salesman. He's a creep. Me and him been arguing for years. Oh, you environmentalist. I ran into his daughter yesterday. Beautiful girl, nurse. Who I really like her and I respect her. She's a wonderful person. She's, oh, Kevin. She says, I'm so glad I haven't seen you since she knew that I was fighting for my life. And she says, you heard about my dad? No. What? She says, I mean, this is an oncologist nurse, a critical care nurse. She knows. She says, he had this cough and he started dropping weight real quick within just a few days. And she says, I was worried it was, leukemia, because that's what she does. And so she says, she made him go in to see Vincent, the same doctor I seen. AML, exactly like me. Guess how long he was alive? 4 days. 4 days. And I think this is very important because this study's out. And if this is true, I'm one hot, freaking healthy motherfucker is all I gotta say. Which we know, our hospital pounds it in, people. I want people to very much understand, to stand up for the truth right now is to live. Honestly, I've watched it. The people that fight intelligently, articulately, with the truth do not buy into the dogma. You can buy dogma left, right, whatever. I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm an anti-climate changer. I'm a human rights activist. What's Fukushima? This is a catastrophe. So it's been confirmed. I could prove it. I know it for a fact. Their biggest flush. It's being confirmed out of Japan by my sources. The lungs filled up with water. They did autopsies on 17, which was reported, but they did autopsies on many, many more, and many, many more have washed ashore dead the next day. But you can't tweet, you can't send out pictures, you can't anything. You go to jail. Those got out in the acute fashion, just like CNN when they originally reported Fukushima. Now, another thing is, if you don't like the weather here, wait 10 minutes. This is the big snowstorm we had in 2 years. Big time, and I reported the dust storm yesterday. And the people in Las Vegas are going to get hammered the worst. This is going to be epic this summer. I talked to people that were out on I-80 yesterday, and I put up videos that says it was black, just black, and it's going to get worse. We have an epic, epic Dust Bowl scenario, perfect storm set up in the western United States. It's going to happen. You know, we got Nestle extorting water, cheating. We got Utah finally shut down the big nightmare coal fire plant. Should have been shut down years ago. Solar took the field a long time ago. You people want to argue. I mean, you try to have a dogma argument with these people anti-nuclear. They don't even know what a spent fuel pool is. They don't know what spent fuel is. They think that nuclear is somehow magic. They have no clue. They don't even know what a uranium mine is. They have no clue what Price Anderson is. I had a guy argue with me yesterday, said that Chernobyl was worse than Fukushima. Fukushima's millions of Chernobyls. 580,000 men entombed Chernobyl after day, I believe, 87. Did anybody entomb this? And I want to really talk about this. Bagley says, oh, prophecy, prophecy. When these guys all say prophecy, buy silver, it's going to the moon when it goes down. Hello, the stock market's making all-time highs. The dollar's making freaking 15-year highs. The dollar's going to crash, the dollar's going to crash. I'm Greg Hunter. 7 consecutive years. They're wiping you out. The economy of fear. Go get your bullets, your gun, your gold and silver. Why they destroy you economically. The economy of fear. Johnny, get your gun. I mean, it's outrageous. That's not what I've done. Is prophecy. Yeah. Is it higher power? No. Who knows what it is? But what I've been able to say, I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah, something happened on the way to that place. They threw an American nuclearism flag in my face. You know, I got leukemia, you know, but I survived. Wow. Okay, he is saying, there's reports coming out, in 2011, there was a similar situation that happened. And it was a precursor, and it's somehow some God biblical thing. I want people to very much understand this. That's true. There was dolphins, but we know for a fact, through the FOIA documents, we know for a fact that the United States had secret weapons in Unit 3. They have it all over Japan. We know for a fact that the United States was playing all kinds of games over there right now, and I'll tell you why we know for a fact. FOIA documents from General Electric employees that were in Fukushima, Japan, the day that it happened, going back for it, do you think we caused that earthquake? Now, I'm not saying they did or did not, but do you think we caused this? We know they were using different sonar. They were using different things. They have a thing called J-Village, and you know, this is all provable. The FOIA documents are out there. Everybody knows where they've been experimenting underground with, you know, nanotechnology part. That's why they thought they could handle Fukushima. I have the transcript from Site Situation Room. I wasn't even sure it was true from the early days, but it's real. And the arguments between John Holden, the science technology, the eugenics guy from Berkeley ran the show. The Navy wanted in. The Marines wanted in. They wanted to. That's why these ships were in there. And I want to say this about the General Electric breakup. It's illegal. The Justice Department should be setting in. And I want to say this too, so people understand this. This is very important. A lot of people don't know this. I talked to the lead attorney on the phone a couple days ago. Again. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people opted out of the settlement of British Petroleum. And there's litigation been flying. These guys have sued. He's sued Stewart, and other guys have sued, and they've done a wonderful job. They're getting massive judgments against British Petroleum. So what is British Petroleum doing? They sold the Shell. They're trying to freak escape. Now, I want this is very important. General Electric on CNBC last Friday says, we're getting rid of all liquidity risk. They know for a fact what is the punitive damages of destroying the Pacific Ocean. It's gonna, the judge, Janice, I've been down there in San Diego the whole time. I've been all over this from day one. The only one from day one. She opened it up to all personnel, military and civilians living in Japan. It's going to open up here. She opened it to General Electric and Hitachi. They know this is the biggest litigation and they're done. So they're going to extort. Now, that's against antitrust law, Teddy. I mean, we have antitrust law that exists. So not only will we not have media and government that is of the people, that's what we're supposed to be. That's what this government is. It's supposed to be representative government. Now, okay, they don't represent us anymore. We all know that. We know the media can report whatever they want and they just choose to turn the other eye. But it's much more devious than that. We have a Justice Department and we have a government that has lock, stock, barrel, took freaking the money Kool-Aid from lobbyists, from the direct killers. That we have a government that is actually against us and used as a weapon against us. We have a media that is committing malice against us. These are premeditated crimes. Premeditation is I mean, in our legal system, Magna Carta, the Patriot Act, reverse Magna Carta, anything with malice, premeditated, we punish the hardest, right? These are absolutely premeditated crimes. By General Electric, by their mouthpiece, CNBC. You've seen that video of the snake going down. Real or not real? Haunting, daunting. And by the way, this is the great equalizer. They begin to eat their own. You know, this is an epic, epic catastrophic event. And this, I think it's one of the biggest stories that's happened in the 4 years is the dolphin showing up dead. It's not from sonar. The autopsy proved it was not from sonar. They proved it. Perfectly good organs, the brain, perfectly fine. It was a sonar. Varied. The lungs were plumb full of white mucus, every one of them. And I verified that through my sources. Plumb full. That's radiation. You get close into radiation, that's what it's going to do to you. You get acute radiation poisoning. Acute. It's going to fill your lungs with white mucus. That's exactly what's going to happen to kill you. That's exactly what happens in an acute. What happened to some of the Reagan guys? The diarrhea, it killed them. That's what killed the dolphins. Fact, they did the massive dumping. The little jetty right there flowed right to this pot of dolphins, right there. They wash up freaking dead. Huh. The fishermen, I'm dealing with fishermen up and down. They call me in Washington, Alaska. I get hundreds of phone calls over this, thousands over this time period. And I would like to say this, the Energy Solutions right out there. He won't return my phone calls. He knows I'm on to him. This is a government official supposed to be working for us, the state of Utah. He's on the take. Working for Energy Solutions, they're all on the take. That's why they fear me. That's why they're afraid of me. But this is malice. These are the greatest crimes against humanity, well, and animals and the plant life in human history, because this goes on for time and all eternity. This is millions of Chernobyls. This is 3 full core meltdowns, a spent fuel pour number 4 that spilled all over, and 5 and 6, by the way. And if we had another catastrophe in Japan, which we possibly have up the coast, further, how would we know? No fly zones over the top. They crashed RadNet on a radiation deck. Gina McCarthy was head of RadNet. That's the government agency to monitor this. They crashed it. Obama gave his speech. They raised the limits on your children 8,000 times when we were already 12,000 times. Hillary Westinghouse Clinton goes to Czechoslovakia as their last duty as Secretary of State and threatens the president of Czechoslovakia. Says, you will break the contract with Russia and plutonium wars Ukraine and give the contract to Westinghouse. I didn't know Westinghouse was the government. She's the State Department top freaking person. Using the word, look it up, Westinghouse, Westinghouse, That's why I'm going to Vienna. The spent fuel cycle is the biggest event they had. The cartel, the evil of the evilists will be there. I will be there. I land the 13th. I'll be there for a few days. And it's very important that I'm there while this is going on. This is the most important conference of the evil sociopaths they've had. And I want to say this too. When people get all geeked up and hammered up about Iran, number one, the United States CIA fully admits in its 7th grade history book, the freely elected president of Iran years ago was shot and murdered by the CIA to prop up the Shah. You know, their colony over there. The whole orchestrated of the, you know, the hostages, it was completely orchestrated by the Bush cartel. You know, H. Bush, everything. Wow. How does Congress, the United States Congress under any powers anywhere, have the right to vote on international law? What goes on in Iran or Israel or in the entire Middle East? What business is that of the United States Congress? They're here to legislate law here. And I want to tell you something to all you American fainting goats and you cowards and you dogma worker, you know, eating morons who have dug in and doubled down on your dogma right to your own death. Truth means nothing to you. Ignorance, oh, did I name this right poster? Ignorance on Balco. You know, wow. It is amazing to me how you're doubling down on your dogma. Fukushima's very, very, I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm an anti-climate changer. I'm against 1%ers. What's a tariff? What's an antitrust law? What's Fukushima? How can you be ranting and raving, carrying on? Know this, there's 410 reactors that boil water all day, every day. It's not magic. People think there's not really anything magical about this stuff. It's uranium mines. It's not that complex. How do you not see? They boil they're heating the atmosphere. There's no answer for the waste. It's sitting all over. It's sitting on cliffs and earthquake zones. Hello. Hello, the Pacific Ocean's being murdered. Heating up, absolutely. Fukushima's got a heat coming off from gamma rays and we don't even know what it is. Chernobyl was entombed by 580,000 men. Wow. Nothing. 1,500 days pouring into the Pacific Ocean. I mean, I named it the Pacific Genocide a long, long time ago, but it's epic. Cancer rates are spiking all over North America. It hammered us for 6 days, hardcore right here. I ended up in a bone marrow with less than 4%. I want to say that this is about fear. You know, you want to go fear, go to Alex Jones, go to Free Greg Hunter, the economy of fear. The shark market make new highs while you're sitting on your gold and silver and your bullets while you're going bankrupt, but not that, it's your health that matters. It is your health, that's all that matters. This trumps all. It is your health. The intensity of the fight, the knowledge of people who understand this and know this, and I can prove it, they're the ones that are surviving this disease. I know it. I got a 0.04% chance of surviving this. I survived. You know, like I said, if this study's true, which I believe it is, I got to be one hot, healthy motherfucker. See, in Vienna, I need a phone that will be able to talk back and forth United States. I'll have to figure that out. I've got Lonnie's got me a plane ticket, got to get me a Euro pass and whatever, and you know, we'll play it, but it's very important that I go there, very important. I'm going to go right into their face, right into the belly of the beast, you know, and Germany, Switzerland, I plan on talking to a lot of people over there because they get it. They've thrown them out. Italy's thrown them out. Spain's thrown them out. Of course, France hasn't. That's all right. You know, they can join in with the less of that. There's the one great activist in Finland. I'd like to meet up with him, as he took the French-owned government nuclear plant by himself and took them apart, took them down. They're going down. We don't use this shit. San Onofre proves that too. We're making all this stuff, Price Anderson, by law, you the taxpayer. And somebody says, oh, the bankers over there, what? No, the bankers don't have to fund any of this nuclear. You as the United States taxpayer fund it all. The IA's captured you, the taxpayer. Look it up, Price Anderson. We don't use this shit. Solar took the field a long time. Technology raced past this a long time. It's not magic. It's the dirtiest, filthiest mass murder, and it's what's heating up the atmosphere. Boiling water at Diablo Canyon. How many million gallons a minute go in there and go right back out 20 degrees hotter all day, every day for how many decades? Hello, please. The emperor has no fucking clothes. It's been confirmed. The radiation flush fallout last week killed the dolphins. And they threw down the state act. There's been many more than 160, by the way. They're murdering. What is the punitive damages? What are the damages for killing the Pacific Ocean? I mean, wow. Wow. General Electric liquidating, they know they're getting out right now. As the United States Justice Department doesn't even represent people. They are a malice, intentional weapon against us. You know, Johnny, get your gun. Ha! What's that going to do? Why don't you go out to Bonneville's Fault Flats and race your covered wagon? Their technology. We have to fight this with our minds. We have to change freaking the passive-aggressive, drink the Kool-Aid. You've gone along. Now, to be computerized right now, it's kind of like being in a gang, I guess. You know it's wrong. You know it's dogma. You've doubled down dogma. You've regurgitated the Fox News, Operation Foxconn, CNN, the sheep herders. You've regurgitated. You just want to belong. You just want to be in that gang. You just want to club. You know it's wrong. Come out of your dogma. You know? Why do you think you're popping pills at night when you're in your group and your gang and you club during the day? You can talk at all. But at night you can't sleep. That's why you can't sleep. Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. And there's a lot of things leading up to it that happened. You know, the Manhattan Project never turned off. You know, it's just a big cash cow. It's the biggest rip-off. You think the bakers ripped you off? You know nothing. I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm an anti-climate changer. I'm an anti-repressor. I'm a human rights activist, what's Fukushima? Stay tuned.